You're 25, 50 years old, and you're waiting for your son to transfer money so you can pay the electricity bill. He's busy. He has his own children, his own loans, his own stress. You refresh your banking app again. Balance, $2,143. This is not a dramatic movie scene. This is retirement for millions of people who never asked a simple question early enough. Why should I save money? Not how to save, not which app, not which stock. Why? Because without a powerful reason, saving always loses to spending. Today, we're going to talk like a video. We're going to talk about psychology, money, and real lives. And we'll walk step by step through the real purpose of saving money. Not theory, reality. Let's begin with something uncomfortable. Most people don't hate saving. They hate delayed gratification. In the 1970s, a psychologist named Walter Mischel ran a famous experiment. A child sits in a room with one marshmallow. The researcher says, if you wait 15 minutes, you'll get 2. Some kids eat it immediately. Some wait. Years later, researchers found something interesting. The kids who could delay gratification often had better financial stability as adults. Saving money is not about money first. It's about identity. It's about who you believe you are in the future. Now let's step into the first purpose. Step 1. Retirement. Let's talk about Mike Tyson. In the 1990s, Mike Tyson earned over $400 million in his boxing career. $400 million. At one point, he owned mansions, tigers, luxury cars, and then he filed for bankruptcy. How does someone earn hundreds of millions and run out? Because income is temporary. Lifestyle inflation is permanent. Retirement is the longest unpaid vacation of your life. If you retire at 60 and live until 85, that's 25 years with no salary. Let's do simple math. If you need even $30,000 per month to survive modestly, that's $360,000 per year. Multiply by 25 years, that's 9 lakh. And that's without inflation. Most people never calculate this number, so retirement feels abstract, distant. Future me will handle it. But future you has no income. Here's the psychological trap. We assume our earning ability will last forever. But the human body doesn't negotiate. Energy declines, health expenses rise. And here's the irony. The time you most need financial freedom is the time you have the least earning power. Saving for retirement is not about luxury. It's about dignity. It's about choosing your doctor, choosing where you live, choosing not to beg. Now, step 2, to not be dependent on your children. This is emotional, especially in South Asian culture. We grow up hearing, your children are your investment. But let's question that. Children are not retirement plans. They are human beings. Look at Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin grew up in extreme poverty in London. His father abandoned the family. His mother struggled mentally and financially. Young Chaplin had to enter a workhouse. He experienced what it feels like when parents cannot financially protect their children. Later, when he became wealthy and world famous, he made sure his finances were structured. He did not want his children to carry financial trauma. Dependency creates silent pressure. Even if your children love you deeply, financial dependence changes relationships. It introduces guilt, power imbalance, stress. You may never say it out loud, but every request for money feels like a burden. And here's another uncomfortable truth. Your children are growing up in a more expensive world. Housing costs are rising, education costs are rising, healthcare costs are rising. If they struggle financially, and you also depend on them, the entire family tree bends under pressure. Saving money is not selfish. It is emotional protection. It allows your children to help you out of love, not obligation. Now, step 3. To buy a house or flat. Let's talk about the illusion of home ownership. For many people, a house is not just a building. It is safety, stability, status. But here's the financial reality. If you don't save before buying a house, the house owns you. Mortgages, interest, maintenance, taxes. In the 2008 financial crisis in the United States, millions of people lost their homes. They didn't lose them because houses are bad investments. They lost them because they had no savings buffer. One job loss, 3 missed payments, foreclosure. The system is simple. A house is a long-term commitment. Savings are your shock absorber. Without savings, one emergency can collapse your dream. There's also psychology here. Owning a home reduces uncertainty. Human brains hate uncertainty more than they hate pain. That's why people rush to buy property, even if financially unprepared. But the smarter move, save first. Build a down payment. Build an emergency fund. Then buy. Savings turn a risky dream into a controlled decision. Now, step 4. To educate your children. Education is one of the few expenses that can change the trajectory of an entire family. But it is expensive. Let's take an example. In many countries, university education can cost millions over 4 years. Even in more affordable systems, tuition, living costs, books, transportation add up. Here's the emotional trap. Parents often delay saving for education because there's still time. Then suddenly the child is 17. Admission letter arrives. Payment deadline, 30 days. Now you're forced into high-interest loans. Or worse, your child compromises on opportunity. There's a biography that illustrates this well. Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty in rural Mississippi. Her grandmother could barely afford basic necessities, but education became her escape route. A scholarship changed her path. Imagine if opportunity had come, but funding did not. Saving for education is not just about paying fees. It is about preserving choices. It gives your child the freedom to say yes to opportunity. And here's the psychological shift. When parents save intentionally for education, children often value it more, because sacrifice signals importance. Now, step 5. To spend your vacation. This sounds small compared to retirement or education, but it's not. Most people either overspend on vacations using credit cards or never take them. Both extremes are unhealthy. Let's look at psychology again. Humans need recovery cycles. Burnout reduces productivity, creativity, health. But if every vacation is funded through debt, relaxation turns into anxiety. You return from the beach to bills. Saving for vacations changes the emotional experience. It removes guilt. It removes post-trip financial panic. And it teaches something powerful. Joy should be planned, not financed through stress. Now let's zoom out. Why does saving money feel so hard today? Because modern economies are designed for consumption. Every app is engineered to trigger impulse. One-click checkout, flash sales, limited time offers. Your brain evolved for scarcity. The system is built for abundance. That mismatch creates constant temptation. Meanwhile, inflation quietly reduces the value of idle money. So here's the deeper layer. Saving money is not enough. You must eventually invest it, because inflation is a silent tax. If inflation averages even 6% annually, your money loses nearly half its purchasing power in about 12 years. That means the 1 million taka you saved patiently might feel like 500,000 in real terms. This is the hidden mechanism. Income alone does not create security. Behavior does. Consistency does. Compounding does.
The uncomfortable math is simple. If you save 10% of your income consistently from age 25 and invest it moderately, you build options. If you start at 45, you must save far more aggressively to catch up. Time is the multiplier. Money is the tool. Now contrast this with hype culture. Social media shows luxury cars, exotic trips, designer brands. Nobody posts their emergency fund. Nobody posts their pension contributions. Saving is invisible, but financial collapse is very visible. Look at the pattern in many celebrity bankruptcies. High income, low restraint, no long-term planning. The tragedy is not lack of money, it's lack of purpose. So let's return to the core question. Why should you save money?